Good morning, friends, and welcome. Let's start our class today with the prayer together. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, friend, beloved God, Guru Preceptors, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Layadi Mashaya, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, beloved Guru Deva Paramhansa Yoganandaji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet. O Christ, we bow before thee. In our own consciousness, we honor thy birth in this world and thy consciousness within our own beings. Bless our class today with thy divine presence. Om Shanti Shanti. We'll have a song and then an excerpt from a talk, a video of Swamiji on Jesus, and then I'll speak, and then at the end there will be another video clip from Swamiji on the life of Jesus Christ and questions and answers. Welcome again, everybody.
Then 3 wise men came from afar, guided by the heavenly star. Christ, the light of God, had descended, that receiving him all might be saved. Thus the promise of God was maintained. Thus all true souls were called to the light, that their darkness be lifted, that their hearts be made whole. When Mary's babe smiled, he conveyed truth and grace, that their darkness be lifted, that their hearts be made whole. When Mary's babe smiled, he conveyed truth and grace. Then 3 wise men came from afar, guided by a heavenly star. Then 3 wise men came from afar, guided by a heavenly star. Christ, the light of God, had descended. Christ, the light of God, had come, that receiving him, all might be saved, all might be saved. 3 wise men came, guided by a star, to do honor and welcome the Christ born on earth. 3 wise men came, guided by a star, to do honor and welcome the Christ born on earth.
You know those 18 years that we don't know about? We hear when he was 12 years old, he was teaching in the temple, and his parents came and called him away. From then on, There's nothing said about him until the age of 30 when he began calling disciples and teaching them. And Christians have assumed that he was just a carpenter. Well, that's a ridiculous thing, and it doesn't say that. Not only that, but the Bible doesn't even dare say it. If it had been, they could have said, well, he grew old and his father worked in his father's shop. They could have added one sentence. The fact that they took everything out has to mean that something was omitted and nobody dared add it. I talked to the Jagadguru Shankaracharya of Govardhan Math, who was a great scholar in India and one of the leading swamis there. And he said he had seen, in fact, he had possession of an ancient document dated back to Roman times, one of only 3 copies, in which he talked about one of the councils of Constantinople. When they discussed taking this out, because some of the priests were saying that it seems to demean the greatness of Jesus for him to have gone to India and tried to learn from anybody there. And a lay person in the audience said, well, I am only a lay person, but it seems to me that if it didn't make the apostles doubt, why should we doubt? And they still decided that it was safer to take it out. But in fact, there are records in India that Jesus did live there. Yogananda said something very interesting. He said this for the first time only 1 month after I'd come to him. He was dictating some lessons, and I was with him. And he said that the 3 wise men who came to the cradle of Christ were Babaji, Lahiri Mahashai, and Sri Yukteswar. The 3 gurus of this path makes me wonder who was Jesus. And, well, I'm not going to get into that one. But the thing is that Jesus taught the same truths that the great yogis of India have taught. And you see this again and again in the Bible. He says, be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. How can you be perfect unless you become like God? The other translations often change that to be therefore good as God is good. Well, God is beyond good and evil. But the sayings, the teachings of Jesus, when he spoke of heaven, he was speaking of cosmic consciousness. He said, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. We have to do that effort. That's where yoga comes in.
Welcome again, everyone. I'd like to start with something I found online on the book, The Unknown Life of Jesus Christ. Nicholas Notovich, a Russian adventurer who in 1894 published The Unknown Life of Jesus Christ, claimed that Jesus traveled to India during his lost years to study Buddhism and Hinduism. He alleged that Jesus, referred to as Isa, studied in India and Tibet during the lost years of his life, ages 12 through 29, and that Buddhist manuscripts documented this journey. His assertions were based on a Tibetan manuscript he encountered at Himis Monastery, which detailed Jesus's life as Isa among Indian yogis. According to Notovich's book, Jesus traveled to India around the age of 13. He visited several significant locations, including Puri, Jagannath, Rajgir, and Benares, Varanasi, where he studied the Vedas and Buddhist teachings. Now, this is something you don't hear every day, but it's something that Master confirmed through his inner connection with Jesus Christ. He didn't confirm it from reading or hearing about it. He confirmed it from his own knowledge, inner knowledge, that Jesus did visit India and that he repaid the visit of the wise men who Master also said were our own gurus. So Master confirmed this, and that those missing years How could you say he did nothing but he was a carpenter? That doesn't even make any sense. Master said he spent most of those years in India. And that master said he came himself with the second coming of Christ, meaning that consciousness that Jesus Christ had, that Krishna, that Buddha, that all of our masters, any great master achieved. Master said he came back to bring how to achieve that Christ or Krishna consciousness. And this is the purpose of meditation, it's the purpose of yoga, it's the purpose of our teachings, it's the purpose of our techniques. Master says in Autobiography of a Yogi that Jesus Christ practiced Kriya yoga or something similar, and he taught it to his close disciples. And so Master said that he came back, Master came to bring original teachings of Jesus and the original teachings of yoga, and to show that the essence was the same. Now, what does that mean? Achieving Christ consciousness or Krishna consciousness. It means to become one with God. Why are we doing all the things that we're doing? Why are we here on earth? Why were we even born? And most people have no idea that that's the reason, the goal of life. And besides that, they don't have the good karma to be drawn to this particular way or path where we can have the teachings of that Jesus Christ practiced, that Buddha perhaps practiced, that Yoganandaji practiced, that all of our gurus practice, that Krishna practiced. Master says in Autobiography of a Yogi the same thing. So it means to not just adore a master who has been born, bow at his feet, honor. It means to achieve what that master achieved, however long it takes, but to know that that is the goal of our existence, is to become not Dhyana, not Ravi, or whoever you are, but to be able to align your consciousness, uplift your consciousness, break the egoic boundaries and limitations, and to become one with your higher self, go into super consciousness, as Swamiji also said, beyond super consciousness to cosmic consciousness, to realize that that is who and what you really are, that spark of the divine, a wave that's a part of the ocean of cosmic consciousness. So this is the goal of meditation, it's the goal of life, to become Christ-like yourself. And Swamiji asked Master, he had played the part in a tableau. I've given this example before, and Master said, I hear you of Jesus Christ. He played that part, Swamiji did. And Master said, I hear you played the part well. And Swamiji said, I don't want to play a part. I want to be like Jesus. And Master assured him that will come. And Master had Christ-like disciples who found God. Rajarsi Janakananda, Jnanamata, he said to Swamiji he would find God, meaning he would achieve the Christ consciousness. And surely there were others. There were others, Swamiji said at Ananda, who he felt they had been freed. And so what does this mean? It takes very, very good karma to even want to know God, Master said. We have that good karma. And most people have no interest even. They're interested in whatever else, all the delusions of this world. That's why Master had that vision of Divine Mother. She came to him during a Christmas meditation, and he was saying over and over, you're so beautiful, you're so beautiful. And then he said, oh, don't go. And he said, the materialistic desires of these people are pushing you away. And that's what pushes God away. No, I want this. No, I have to have this. No, what about me? No, it's all egoic. But once you say, no, I want God, sincerely, sincerity is so important. Loyalty is the highest law once you have the teaching. So it takes very, very good karma to even want to know God. It takes very, very, very good karma to draw a guru, a true guru, who has already knows God, who's already been free. Master said, I killed Yogananda long ago. No one dwells in this temple now but God. He was an avatar. Jesus Christ was an avatar. Babaji was an avatar. Lahiri Mahashaya, avatar. Different ones of the masters were avatars. They knew God. They were one with God. And they didn't come for us to just follow them. They came for us to follow the teachings, to raise yourself up through the teachings, through the techniques. And so this is why Master came. And to have that blessing of the Guru, that the teachings, the techniques, but more than that, the power, the Shakti of the Guru coming into you, changing you. Master said 25% is your effort. Do your part. 100%. Do everything you can. 25% is Guru giving you his good karma. He said, I'll give you lots of my good karma. You can break the dream. And 50% is the grace. You open yourself up, and only really God's grace can save you, can make you free. Saved from what? Saved from yourself, saved from delusion. And so Master, it says in the Bible, to all those who received him, he gave the power to become the sons of God. And that means all those who were open, who were receptive, who could contain the consciousness of the divine. Master said, body, mind must be ready. It's like a 50-watt bulb. You try to put 1,000 watts into that little 50-watt bulb, it's going to crack. So we do yoga to open ourselves, to become receptive, to receive the power to change, to receive the power to become one with God, to receive the power to achieve Christ consciousness. And that can be achieved. It's not something just for great masters. It's for me and it's for you. And that's why we're on this path. And it's not something, when you think about the different teachings, there's something people don't really understand. Be still and know that I'm God is about meditation. The kingdom of God is within you. It's about meditation. If thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be filled with light. It's about looking here in meditation. There's so many quotes, nobody understands them. But Master said he came back again. He came to bring the second coming of Christ, his teachings again. And we are living the second coming of Christ. And it means, there's a beautiful song that I grew up in my church with. It's called He Lives, and it's about Jesus. He lives within my heart. He walks with me. He talks with me. He tells me I'm his own. You ask me how I know he lives? He lives within my heart, and we can add, he lives within my consciousness. My consciousness is becoming, every day I meditate, more and more of the Christ, the Krishna consciousness. It is not a matter of belief. You can believe anything, but it doesn't make it work. It doesn't make it true. People believe the world was flat. It didn't make it true. The earth was flat. And Master would meet various people there who were convinced on the wrong side that they believed what was right. And he was on a train once, and a preacher walked by him, and Master was, dark skin, long hair. He may have had on robes, I'm not sure, but he was on a train, and a preacher walked by and said, do you believe in Jesus Christ? And Master said, yes, I believe he was one of the sons of God. I just love that answer. But do you believe Jesus Christ was the only son of God? And Master said, I believe he was one of the sons of God. And the Master said, and that man said, if you don't believe Jesus Christ, in Jesus Christ, you are going to go to hell. And Master said, well, my friend, I might go there by and by, but you are there already. The man's face was completely disfigured with anger. And that's not living the teachings of Jesus Christ. And there was another man Master had all kinds of people just confronting him. I mean, who had had the courage? God had to go through him to America to bring these teachings and to the West. Another man came to Master, and Master was asking him because he said everything in the Bible is absolutely literal. Master said, no, it isn't. There's symbolism there. So the Master said, what about the snake, the serpent that talked to Eve? And they tell about that in the Bible. And the man said, listen, snakes could talk then. And Master said, he had on a hat, and Master had a hat. He says, I take my hat off and I bow to the temple of colossal ignorance that I see before me. And then he left. But this is what people believed and believe, things that don't add up. Masters come to bring the true teachings to those who have the ears to hear. And this is why we have the Christmas meditation all day. How many people have even an hour, 2 hours, not singing, but meditating, communing with Christ, communing with God on such a holy time when a great master was born, any great master at that birth? People should meditate, feel the blessings, commune with them up, not just with that vibration of that master, but with that consciousness within your own self. And Master in 1931, he started this meditation all day. Commune with the Christ consciousness. Do the best you can. He used to say, any little bubble of joy you have, even if it's a little bit of feeling the presence of God, blow on it, expand it. And we at Ananda have had this meditation, all day Christmas meditation on the life, not just the life of Christ, not just the teachings, but our own consciousness within, to try to uplift it to the Christ, to the Krishna consciousness. Since 55 years, ever since the start of Ananda, I hope you will be joining, because this truly is Christmas. We have the social Christmas, it's fine, but no one, how many people really commune with Christ and that consciousness at the time of Christmas? This is the true meaning of Christmas. I hope you will join us at the 8-hour meditations of Ananda and Masters, devotees, and disciples all around the world. God bless you all. We have one more video of Swamiji that we'd like to show you now on the life of Christ.
During the 30 years he spent in Southern California, he dedicated himself to explaining and expanding on the teachings of the Old and New Testament. In his inspiring book, The Autobiography of a Yogi, he tells of his spiritual training in India and of his master's close connection with the teachings of Jesus. Yogananda's direct disciple, Swami Kriyananda, an American and founder of the Ananda Cooperative Village and Meditation Retreat in Northern California, recalls what Yogananda had to say about the lost years of Jesus.
Yes, Yogananda often talked about the missing years of Jesus and the fact that he spent them in India, or a large part of them. He told us once that the 3 wise men had come to the manger from India, and that Jesus' visit to India was to return their visit. In his book, Man's Eternal Quest, which is a book of his sermons that was published by Self-Realization Fellowship, he says, God made Jesus Christ an Oriental in order to bring East and West together. Christ came to awaken the divine consciousness of brotherhood in the East and West. It is true that Christ lived in India during most of the 18 unaccounted-for years of his life, studying with India's great masters. That doesn't take away from his divinity and uniqueness. It shows the unity and brotherhood of all great saints and avatars. Yoganandaji was talking not from a level of scholarship, but of intuition. And when he saw the life of Jesus in India, it was from that level that he was talking, although he also mentioned that there were records in India, such as Notovich's, but he had seen it himself and spoke with certainty.
This is from on YouTube, The Lost Years of Jesus. I highly recommend you watch it. It's absolutely amazing. I'll ask now that Nitendra joined me on the screen. We have a few questions.
Yes, Dhanaji, thank you so much. Few questions, Dhanaji. So one of the questions is that in the autobiography of a yogi, Master mentions Christ so many times. Actually, there are two chapters, Babaji, the Yogi Christ of modern India, and also the Christ-like life of Lahiri Mahashaya. So could you give us more intuition on what did Master want to convey in this manner?
Yeah, I think what I was just saying, they had the Christ consciousness. They had lifted up they were already avatars, Babaji, Lahiri Mahashaya. They didn't have to achieve it in that lifetime. But so when you achieve that consciousness, your life becomes Christ-like. And that's what we're trying to do, not not meditate and go out and do anything and not have right behavior or right attitudes or anything. You live a life like Christ, like Master, like Babaji, like Lahiri Mahashaya, meaning centered in yourself, uplifted at Kutastha Chaitanya, and able to live in that consciousness no matter what the scene is and all around you, at your job, at your home, or whatever. Swamiji said, and we'll play at the long meditation on Sunday, he says to live in the self. And that's what this means. And Master told Swamiji, whatever you have to do, come down a little bit, eat or whatever, but then go back into the self. And what is the self? It's the highest state of consciousness that's within you. And that is the Christ or the Krishna consciousness. We need to live there, not live in delusion, not live in wrong attitudes, not live in wrong behaviors, but live in the highest part of your being, your highest consciousness. And that's why we meditate every day, twice a day. We meditate and we feel a little bit, this is who I am. Even sometimes we feel more and more. The longer you meditate, the more years you meditate, you work off your karma and you become Christ-like yourself. Master said it. He said, become Christ-like yourself. Don't just look at me, look within yourself. And that's what our whole path is about. Our teachings are about, our techniques are about. Think about Hong Sa, calming down the reactive process. Think about the Om technique, going within and listening inside for the inner sounds of the chakras, that sound that uplifts you in that consciousness. Think about Kriya, burning up your karma, so that you can be free to be able to lift up your consciousness. Most people are weighed down heavily by karma. They can't move. They have so many limitations from attachments and desires and karma and wrong attitudes, wrong behaviors. They can't do anything. Our path is to break all of that and uplift yourself into who and what you really are. Not Indian, not American, not Black, not white, not woman, not man, not any limitation. Swamiji said those are all self-definitions. What we're trying to do is lift ourselves up to who and what we really are beyond the body. And that's the purpose of Kriya, the purpose of being a disciple of a great master like Master and all our gurus, the purpose of doing praying, the purpose of chanting, the purpose of everything. One purpose, break the dream. How are you going to break the dream? True guru, true teaching, and putting the effort in yourself. And if we can do that Christmas time, Master's birthday, make it a New Year's resolution, it'll be a wonderful experience. So then?
One last question, Dhanaji. So next week is Christmas, the social Christmas, and there are talks about gifts, there are Christmas carnivals and so on. And we also have the long meditation this Sunday. So what's the best way to be in this next 1 week where there is festivity as well, but there's depth that we wish as well?
Yeah, Master divided Christmas. He said, by the way, it's the most sacred time of the year. And that day of the long meditation, the most sacred day. So he divided Christmas time into two parts. The long meditation, which he called the inner Christmas. And so we meditate 8 hours on that day. As I said earlier, to lift up our own consciousness. Some people think it's just to sit there and, honor Jesus. That's not it. It's to lift up your own consciousness. Really try. Today, I've been doing since the last class, every day, try to contact that consciousness within. Ask Master, ask Jesus, ask Babaji to really help you to uplift yourself so that at the meditation you feel great joy and blessings. And I think mountains of karma are gotten rid of during that long meditation. You don't come out of there the same person that you went in the room as. And so having that time is very, very, very important. Discipline yourself and challenge yourself. Don't stay 2 hours and leave. Stay the whole time. I've seen people couldn't even really do Hong Sa, staying the whole time. So that is essential. And at every Ananda center worldwide, every center, I believe, of masters worldwide is having a long meditation. The second part is the social Christmas, he said. So the spiritual Christmas and the social Christmas. Also, the spiritual Christmas time, Master gave Kriya. So people could have that time to really go deeper. And the social Christmas is more family, gifts. But even with the gifts, don't just give gifts. Think of the love behind it. Think of the gift of that you've received in your life of Christ coming, of Master taking you as his disciple, of having the teachings, of having the techniques. And as you give gifts that you would like to receive, give something from your heart, give something spiritual perhaps, and give it with love. And you will find that I've been to 50, around 50, if not 50, of these long meditations over the years, every year. And after you do that, the whole Christmas season is just so divine, so beautiful, so filled with joy, so filled with bliss. And the main thing, so filled with God. God and the gurus come to you on that holy day of the meditation. Then they're just with you all the time. Like I said, he walks with me, talks with me. And so you want to have both. You don't do the meditation, then, not be with people. People, unless you're in seclusion, that's also good. Many people at Ananda go into seclusion after Christmas for that time between Christmas and New Year's. That's also a wonderful practice to be able to have that time alone with God. I wish you all a very, very special 8-hour meditation this year and a wonderful, wonderful, happy Christmas. God bless you all. And we will be meeting next week, even though it's Christmas Day. We'll have a special time together and more meditation at that time. Maybe a short meditation and talk, but it'll be festive. I look forward to seeing you. God bless you. Thank you, Natindra.